Hello, everybody! Joe Bega Donuts here, and welcome back to another episode of Summer Pockets Reflection Blue. Reflection Blue? Reflection Blue. That sounds right. That sounds right to me. Anyway, hi, hello, everyone. How are you? I'm doing okay. Recording relatively late. You can probably guess why I didn't record yesterday, mainly because I just didn't want to. I was too busy playing Pokemon on my DS. Which, good news. I'm almost done Pokemon Yellow. I just beat the Elite Four, and my Dex is looking at, I want to say 144 captured. So I'm almost there. Just got a couple left I need to brush up. Most of them are in the Cerulean Cave where Mewtwo is. Catch those. Either sit at the arcade and play the slots for 12 hours straight and get enough money to get Porygon, or I can just item dupe glitch a bunch of rare candies and sell them to get the money and just turn that money into points and then just buy Porygon that way. So by tomorrow I should have my Dex complete. Be ready to transfer them all over to the online Pokemon Bank thing, whatever it's called, and then start up Crystal, which Crystal is also, impossible to get all the Pokemon on. So I'm just kind of fucked for some of the Johto mons there. But I'll do my best. At least I don't think you can do the Mew Fly glitch like you can in Red, Blue, and Yellow in Gen 2. So I'll have to see what I can do there in order to get the leftovers. And I don't even know if the online functionality even works anymore. I'm pretty sure all the 3DS servers got shut down, so I would need to physically be standing in front of someone and connecting them via the DS's. It's not. Is it Bluetooth? It might be Bluetooth, or it might be the infrared whatever instead. I don't know. I'll find something out. But that's neither here nor there. What is here is me in front of this microphone, ready to do an episode. With a little bit of froggy throat that I've had all day. It doesn't feel like I'm sick. I don't know. Just something I've been dealing with. Oh, I guess I'll know for tomorrow for sure if I'm sick or not, because it's one of those things, where it's the day that you start feeling, it's a coin flip whether you wake up the next day and you're good to go, it's all gone away, or you feel like you've woken up in a morgue, just like a dead body on a cold steel plate, and then you have to go through your day like that. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but we'll see. The class I'm teaching is almost done. Tomorrow's our last day. Got to graduate my little shitlings, and they can go off and do good things. And then next week I start another class, which is gonna be so exciting. I need to get my blues uniform all set. Get my pants back from the dry cleaners. Get out the ruler and make sure all my medals and ribbons and badges are all spaced properly. Get my hair cut. Ugh. Just gotta look on the bright side. I'm getting back paid $5,000 whenever I'm done that class, and then I'll be getting an extra $1,000 a month. Plus, I'm getting my reenlistment bonus soon, which is gonna be. I'm actually not sure what the total is, but it's a lot. It's the entire bonus is almost $60,000, and you get half of that up front. A good chunk is going to be taken out by taxes, though, so let's just assume I get a $20,000 bonus up front, and then the rest of it's paid out over the term of my contract. So that's going to be an extra good chunk of change every month. And $20,000, that's a real good down payment on a house, so then I can get out of this shit fucking place that I'm in that I hate. Anyway, let's worry about my housing situation later and get on with it, huh? So hopefully my computer doesn't crash or anything. I came back from work today, and my main monitor was just dead. My second monitor was a black screen with just some artifacting on it. but I was still able to open up the command prompt. I'm not the command prompt, task manager, and restart it that way because I don't like holding down the power button. That weaks me out. And then it restarted and everything was good. So hopefully that was just some weird like graphical drivers that crashed for some reason. Hopefully the recording isn't affected by that later, but only way to find out is to get this shit done and look at it in post. All right, let's get the ball on the road. Listen to this fucking shoo-up for a while. The next day, I was dragged out to the pier at 6 in the morning. Zaku. Zaku, Mark II. Xion's famed mass production mobile suit. I was rapidly coming to the conclusion that this daily gathering of geezers was their way of blowing off some steam after their fishing was done. Still, it doesn't seem reasonable for them to make me play along, though. I'm surprised your knees have held up from all these squats. Ooh, which one are we? Ooh, any of them? Fuck. Can I really? I'll go with Seiryu, I guess. I thought it was kind of cool, that's all. No, it's fine, really. I'll go with Byako then. What's wrong? Oh, that really pitiful little grunt just now was you, right? Okay, so Byako. Oh, seriously, what's the deal? Training. The difference is that I'm being forced into it. Who? I mean, obviously. Huh? Oh, they're gone. What a whimsical group of geezers. So, wait, which one of the 4 heavenly beasts did I become in the end? Not really. Yeah, play some ping pong? The mountain? Why? Damn, spend the whole day up there? Oh boy! Why? I mean, in a place like this, the only thing you can do for a bachelor's party is get shit-faced. I don't really watch movies, so I can't say I've heard of them. What do you do at a bachelor's party, like, specifically? Why is everyone so obsessed with making me do squats all of a sudden? Okay, first off, no, I wasn't having fun. Second, why are you just secretly watching us? What are you, some kind of jealous stalker? You have one of those on this island? I mean, it's a small, closed-door community like this. There's probably a swingers club on this island, let's be honest. Hey, let's go! Yeah, don't you want to sit next to 2 of your best buds and just, look at porn together and I don't know, bask in it? Why on earth would he end up playing an opponent like that? Does he really? Yeah, mental training. Kinda looks like you're using training as a pretext here, Tenzin. Whoa, careful that racket.
サンイーター、太陽殺しの異名を持つ圧倒的な射程と精度を誇るライフルだ。
Oh,
長い胴体が絶妙
okay.
に色っぽい。わがままが
We looking at gun magazines?
ピンポイントで男のハートを撃ち抜いてくるだろ。
Is that supposed to be lewd?
エントリーナンバー2番、ブルーインパルス。射程と連射力では劣るが貫通力ではピカイチ。どんなに硬い鎧を身にまとった相手の心も射抜いてしまうだろう。その銃口は差し詰め、明氷の視線のように危うい光を発しながら狙いを定めている。待て、なんだこのラインナップ。
You're only just now noticing? Aren't you the one who was waxing poetic about him? Is this really your idea of an erotic collection? You're an even bigger pervert than I gave you credit for.
違う。おい、俺のコレクションはどこにあった？
Yeah, man's got like the girls' frontline dojins out here or something.
燃やした。
なんでだ。そしてなんでいる？
Hey, what's up?
女子で集まろうってことになったんだよ。ほら、
Same night as us?
結婚式前夜に新婦とその友達で集まって騒ぐのがあるでしょ。
知ってるぞ。
Yeah.
ストリッパーを呼んだりするんだよな。
Go to oh god, not Dave and Buster's. That's like the bar, you know, arcade place. Dave and Buster's? I don't know. The male strip club place.
はっ、それで俺を呼びに来たか。
呼ぶか。とにかく壮行会みたいなことしようと思って。白羽がいなくてな。
You haven't?
ここにもいないようだな。白羽が一人でフラフラしているのは今に始まったわけじゃ
Oh,
ない。
you can have a party for someone without them there. That's how my 21st birthday went. Everyone planned a big get-together to go out, but didn't bother to look at the schedule and see that I was working that night. So they just all went out and had my birthday party without me while I was at work. And they had a great time, and I was at work all night. Not little bent out of shape about that almost 10 years later, but hey, it's a thing that happened.
儀式の前夜というのが少し気になるな。前夜になって新郎のことがキモくなってきたという可能性は？
I mean, there's a chance. Even if there were, I'd really rather you not bring up the
し
possibility.
かしこんな夜にみんなでゾロゾロ探し回るのもおかしいな。
男子で探すか。
Let me try going alone.
ハイリー。
Nah, it's not like I don't want you around. I just have a feeling I might know where she is. I want to see if I'm right. And it'd make things kind of awkward if you were all there. She'd feel jumped. I made for the ocean. I was pretty confident that I'd find her there. In retrospect, running all over the island to search for her the other day sort of paid off. It all comes together in the end. That thought sort of struck me out of nowhere. Hey!
Huh?
I found Shiroha loitering around the beach, alone. I called out to her, and she turned to face
ハイ
me.
リー、
I heaved a sigh and walked up to her. Everyone's been looking for you, you know. Wandering around's all well and good, but at least tell someone next time.
ごめん。今夜は外に出ちゃいけないって言われて、
And you did it anyway?
どうしてもここに来たかったからこっそり来ちゃった。
I see. Well, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
見えるのどんどん鮮明になっていくの。
You mean your visions of drowning?
その時が近づいてるってことだと思う。
Man, that's gotta be a shitty recurring dream.
やっぱりハイリーもいた。
You can tell by the cool watch?
今度ははっきりと見えた。
That too, I guess. I see.
それに
Did you see the watch, though? Was it
あ
there?
れは
What's that?
うん。
Well, in any case, I'm glad.
え
I don't know what's about to happen. But whatever it is, looks like I'll be there to help at least.
役に立ってるかはわからない。
Yeah, you're probably just floundering.
一緒に溺れてるだけかも。
Still, I mean, better than me not being there at all, right? What's
だ
wrong?
って
I mean, yeah, that's pretty morbid, but
なんで声をかけたの？
huh?
それでいろんなところに誘ってくれて、
I don't know, I was bored.
私一人ならよかった。いつかいなくなりたかった。どうせ私なんて生きていたってしょうがないんだから。
What?
私がいなくなるのはいいの。でもまた誰か大事な人がいなくなるのは耐えられない。
Mhm.
そんなのは嫌だ。また失うのは嫌。
Anyone else? Well, she was probably talking about her parents. She lost them both in the blink of an eye. Felt like an important piece of her heart has been missing ever since then. Ever since that brilliant summer long ago. Everyone's had the highest hopes for me ever since I was a first year.
Huh?
Yeah, make this all about you now, bud. Nah, I'm kidding. I thought I'd tell you about how last year's summer went for me. I told you I was in the swim club, right? Everyone expected great things from me. They made me the anchor, even though there were third years available who were up to the task. I wasn't the only one with talent in my grade either. We had our little team, and we got more and more outspoken with our seniors and our club advisor. We went to a totally average public school, and we thought we'd revolutionize the place. I threw everything I had into making my club a powerhouse. The seniors in our club got more or less driven out, but I thought that was a necessary sacrifice. That's just how competition works. But those seniors were all great people. They actually did everything they could to support us. We ended up heading to the summer tournament with a team full of first years. I was the anchor. I swam in the 400-meter relay on the first day. The swimmers before me all managed to hold first place. We were on track to set a perfectual record. But a guy I didn't know was in the next lane over. I'd been to all the middle school tournaments, but I'd never seen him before. He was a first-year anchor, just like me. He dove in a couple seconds after me, but he caught up before I was even halfway down the lane. One minute, everyone above me was cheering. The next, they were gasping with surprise. My teammates sounded weirdly desperate. I was swimming as hard as I could, too. In that moment, everything fell apart. It never felt like that before. Like I was falling apart underwater. We could have made it to the finals, even if we placed second. But I couldn't even finish my leg. That was the end of the senior summer, the last swim meet of their high school career. Nobody blamed me. I was so grateful for that, I almost cried. I felt like I had to make up for all my guilt and all their frustration, so I worked myself to the bone. I really did. But I just couldn't. Ever since then, I haven't been able to properly swim. Practice was a totally different matter. I could swim just fine then. But when it came time for the real deal, when I heard all those cheers around me, my form fell apart. I just couldn't do it anymore. Everyone supported me at first. They waited for me. But it just kept getting worse and worse. And eventually, nobody knew how they were supposed to face me anymore. I didn't even know how to face myself. Everything was so stifling. I felt like I was going to suffocate. And so, I quit the club. I wasted day after day on the most pointless crap. At home, I'd act like I was still going to school. Like I was still participating in the club. I got used to spitting out those same old lies. My father was strict. My mother believed me. To them, I was their honest, sports-loving son. But in reality, I'd just pretend to go to school, then wander into town instead. I'd roam the streets and hang out with all the other truants. I figured I'd get caught before too long, but a whole year passed and nothing changed. You're like, teachers didn't call home once when you were, not going to school for basically a year? That's kind of on your school. I'm not gonna lie, bud. They should have reached out long before then. Like a couple days, I would say. Like, I mean, even one day, you know, it's like, oh, he didn't show up today? Huh, I better call home. He's probably just sick or whatever, but, you know, better safe than sorry. Because, I don't know, what if he, like, got into an accident on your way to school or something? It's like, oh, fuck. Someone's gotta find him. One day.
ここにいたか。向こうで揉めてるんだ。お前も来いよ。
I pretty much knew what was waiting for me. I thought I heard someone shouting at me, telling me to stop.
お前ら何をやっている
The police came running.
逃げるぞ。高原
I just stood there. I didn't move an inch. I was sick of running away. I thought I should just bring it all down. I'd tear it down from the ground up. It felt great, refreshing. No matter what happened, I thought I'd at least break my way out of the rut I was stuck in. I was sure of it. I was suspended. Gonna keep that one from my parents, of course. I sort of figured they already had a vague idea of what I've been up to lately. I mean, they are my parents. It turns out I was wrong. It caught them completely off guard. They took it worse than I ever imagined. My dad blamed my mom, and my mom blamed my dad. Our family fell apart. It was all my fault. I couldn't do a damn thing. I just drifted through it all in a daze. And before I knew it, summer vacation arrived. I just holed myself up at home. One day, I wandered downstairs and ran into my dad. He was sitting in the living room, reading a newspaper. I went to grab my breakfast from the fridge. Then my dad put down his newspaper and looked at me. And he said this. You know, this is all your fault, don't you? My swim team losing. Losing my will to go to school. People getting hurt. My family falling apart. All of that was my fault? I knew he was probably right. I knew it so well, I couldn't look him in the eye. So I blinded myself from the truth and ran. No matter how much I knew he was right, no matter what arguments he subjected me to, I wasn't strong enough to accept it. I just wanted to get away from there, whatever it took. I knew that getting away wouldn't fix anything, but I still wanted to. So I got lured in by Kyoko-san's letter and came all the way out here. Somehow, being here was just so much fun. I couldn't bring myself to go home. But I'll go back. When tomorrow's festival's over and everyone's safe, I'll go home. There's tons of stuff I still have to do. There's still so many things I ran away from. Don't you have anything like that, Shiroha? Something you still have to do on this island? Something you want to do, starting now? Don't give me any of that, I don't mind if I die talk. At the very least, for me, you're my saving grace on this island. I'm glad you were here.
Heidi.
That's what I wanted to say last time, when I said I had a lot to thank you for. Your cooking was delicious. So go whip up some for someone. That's all it takes to put a smile on their face. They'll be overjoyed, I promise. Just like I was. Letting a future like that slip away would be a waste, wouldn't it? So go back. Go home. Everyone's waiting for you. So go home.
泣いてるの。
No way.
ごめん。
Yeah, it's just this stinging salt spray from the ocean is all. For what?
わからないけど。ごめん。
Let's get going.
待って。もうすぐだから見てもらいたい。
Gee, stare.
私じゃなくて。
Then what?
私の周り
Thought you were gonna do like a backflip or something. Around you? What? It's just a beach. What's she... Huh? Ah. Ooh, bioluminescent plankton. Or, algae. Not quite. Seriously? Are those supposed to live in the mountains?
海ホタル
I feel like I'd heard that name somewhere before. The fireflies of the sea. It's like the beach is glowing.
この場所は
Oh no, my video's gonna get copyright claim now. I mean, all of them do because it's Key Visual Arts Sound Group. They fucking claim everything. Any background track doesn't matter. They're like, yoink, that ad revenue is mine, bitch.
昔お父さんに教えてもらった秘密の場所ずっと光らなくなってたのけど今年の夏また光ったの
Yeah, that's probably global warming. This is like an algae bloom.
10年ぶりに
10 years! I've got some pretty crazy luck then, huh?
あのね昔未来に行きたいって思ってたことがある
Like, to 20XX future or to the future? Why?
多分待つのに疲れたからいくら待ってもダメだから時間を早送りして会いに行きたいって思った
Don't worry. Once you get into your 20s, it's like times on fast forward.
もしかしたら未来に行きたいって思ってたから未来が見えるようになったのかな
Do you still want to go?
いつまで待ったらいいかわからないしだからもういい
Hey, there we go. We live in the
何
present.
も見えなくてもいいのに
Hey, let's go explore all over the place together someday.
入りどこに
Huh?
いろんなところって
It just sort of came to me at the moment. I don't really have, like, a specific plan.
いろんなところって言われても返事しかねる
You can at least give me a vague reply, right?
なんとなくはできない変なところに連れて行かれたら嫌だ
Yeah, what if we went to, like, Oklahoma? Of course I wouldn't do that. What kind of person do you think I am?
変な人
Got him on that one. Oh, come on! Let's go home.
私ごめんおかえりおかえり
おかえりおかえり
ただいま
Woo! We did it. Maybe. I don't know. Got some emotional closure there, at the very least. I mean, you could work something out. You know, he's already got a bike license. Just get a shitty motorcycle with a sidecar. Hell, if you're getting a motorcycle, get a sidecar anyway. It seems like it'd be great for groceries or something, you know. Fill that thing up instead of have to carry them all or put them on the back or any little side pouches. You know, it seems like it'd make your life a whole lot easier. I had a dream. Birds were flying through the sky. They journeyed here from some place far away. Sometimes they rested, and then they set off once again, only to alight somewhere else. They hopped from island to island. Where were they going? In fact, they themselves had forgotten their own destination somewhere along the way. Or was it they'd flown so far to reach? They just kept flying, chasing after a brilliant light they'd seen long, long ago. August 21st. The day of the Shirōjima's biggest festival, the Flight of the Summer Bird. It couldn't ask for better weather. I mean, that's a pretty big cumulus nimbus over there. They generally portend thunderstorms, but hey, you know, as long as it stays over there, sure, man, looks great. According to Shiroha, the seas would be stormy. Yeah, probably because of that cumulus nimbus and the thunderstorm brewing in the distance. The weather forecast said nothing of that sort, though.
ハイレ君は今日の予定はどうなってるの？
Gonna go drown later? Well, they told me to come to the town hall at 3 p.m. I wonder what I should do until then.
楽しんだらいいんじゃない？
Normally, you'd only find fishermen and cats on the pier, but on that day it was downright bustling with people. They'd even set up some food stalls. Finally hit me that this was a really special day for the islands. Hadn't really registered until I saw the crowd. Events were being held on the beach, and children were running around merrily. The sky was a beautiful shade of blue. The sea glittered in the lights, calm and quiet. Everyone was enjoying the holiday in their own unique way. You never imagined disaster was impending. Were all of our fears baseless after all? A ship I didn't recognize was docked at the harbor. It was even larger than the one I'd arrived on.
今日明日だけの臨時の船だ。
Huh? Ruichi and Tenzin walked up to
敵
me.
屋や観光客が押し寄せるからな。
Huh. Just then, I felt something tug on my sleeve. I remember that sensation. Turned around and looked down. Hey, Hota-chan.
お前、いつの間にか俺たちより顔が広くなってないか？
I ended up going all over the place for the preparations these past few days, yeah. Got some grilled squid, huh? How is it?
おいおい、
What?
用事。
Huh?
大事な用事というのは男の人同士でブラブラすることだったのですね。
I mean, it is important, but no, not at all. I almost forgotten. She'd invited me to float my lantern onto the sea with her, but I turned her down since I had important business to take care of at that time. And I actually do, too. I wasn't lying or anything.
失礼します。
I fumbled my way into a misunderstanding. Buddy, that is a child. You can easily solve this. Be like, I'm actually taking part in the, you know, parade procession in a very important role, so I will be preoccupied at the time.
高原海里君、至急役場まで来てください。
Ugh. Couldn't really get used to having my name blasted out of a loudspeaker. Did I do something?
準備があるんだろう。
I mean, you just probably made a little girl cry on the inside, so yeah. Oh, right.
ああ、高原君、成瀬さんは先にお堂に行ってるから。
Right.
行こうか。
Are we really doing this?
君がやると言ったんだ。
I mean, yeah, but still. Even if it's just a pretense. Marriage? I don't know. It was super weird to think about. But really, it'd been one weird thing after another since I arrived at this island. Also, if you're wearing those big, like, the black kimono he wears for, like, a traditional Japanese marriage in this summer heat in the middle of the day? We climbed up the mountain behind Town Hall, making our way to the shrine. The stone steps were usually closed off to the public. At the top of the steps, the trail opened into a small clearing. It wasn't anything as grand as the main shrine. It was a modest little building that could probably only fit a few people inside at once. Shiroha was waiting for me inside. Oh, hello? Suddenly, a butterfly fluttered right in front of me. Yeah, there's been an awful lot of, looking down at our text box here and on the title screen, an awful lot of butterfly motifs for something that hasn't really shown up in the story at all. Oh, that was a pretty weird butterfly, wasn't it?
ん
Sort of rainbow-colored butterfly just flew by.
虹色そんな蝶いたかな
Must have been a trick of the light then.
別の何かかもね
Oh, you think? Really, though. Never seen a butterfly with that strange a coloration before. I glanced in the direction the butterfly flew off in. Then, with one last glance back at the town hall worker, I wandered off the trail. Just couldn't get that strange butterfly out of my mind. I pressed on, deeper and deeper into the forest. The smell of greenery grew stronger, and the footing grew more and more treacherous. In spite of all that, I kept pushing onward. I walked without the slightest hesitation, almost like I'd traveled that path before. Was I just imagining it? I was traveling deeper and deeper into the mountains, but the sound of the forest felt like it was fading away. Or rather, before I knew it, my surroundings had grown so quiet the silence was almost stifling. For the first time since I set off, my pace slowed. Is it really okay for me to go any farther? Doubts began to flash through my mind. But then, suddenly, the trees opened up. I should have been in the middle of a forest, but I emerged into an unfathomably large clearing. A space that held nothing more than a single tree, with white flowers blooming amongst its branches. For moments, I was captivated. How could a place like this exist on the island? Yeah, especially surrounded by a big forest like this. Forests like that don't let big open spaces like this last for long. Like, within 10 years, this place would be filled with just small trees sprouting up all over the place and covered in, like, you know, understory shrubbery and tall grass and stuff. Well, much too well-manicured place. Huh? Spotted a familiar-looking silhouette beside the tree. She was staring up at it, her back turned to me. Why are you here? Umi-chan? Yeah, you've been having your own key visual novel plot in the background on your days off?
高原さん
Umi-chan looked even more surprised to see me than I was to see
こ
her.
んなところで何をしているんですか
I followed the butterfly.
え
No, I mean, what about you, Umi-chan?
なんでもないです
I don't know. Doesn't really feel like it to me.
少し迷っていただけです
Lost? Oh, should we head back together?
結構です
She dashed off. She seemed a little angry, didn't she? I've got to get back too. Before I left, I turned around and gave that tree one last look. Couldn't quite put my finger on why, but something about it felt strange. Well, that's weird. I'm sure that'll never come up ever again.
どこに行ってたんですか
Had to go take a shit. Sorry. I spotted an acquaintance and got
こ
distracted.
ちらで着替えてください
Right. Maybe that's why Umi-chan was so mad. She ran off in the woods to, you know, pick some flowers, and then you just butted in on her when she was getting ready. I'd be mad too. There was an outfit sitting on the tatami flooring for me in one of the shrine's side rooms. So this is what I'll be wearing? I was getting a bit nervous. Fake or not, I'd be participating in a wedding ceremony. Oh, talk about crazy. I had no clue what would happen in it, too. It was a strange feeling.
じゃあお姫様は本殿の方で待っているの
I
で
feel like they should have, you know, walked you through this once. You know, get a dry run in before the actual ceremony, because there's going to be tourists here and stuff. You know, you don't want to look like a fool in front of the cameras.
行ってあげてください
All right. I finished changing into my outfit and was sent off on my own. The shrine's grounds were even quieter than I'd expected them to be. Even at this distance, the music from the festival felt a lot more lively than the shrine's atmosphere. Hey,
それ
her eyes widened at my new and unfamiliar fashion.
何その格好。
Oh, surprised?
まあ
Do we got a dashing figure? How's it look?
なんていうか入りじゃないような感じ。
Yeah, If it's not me, then who is it?
知らない人。
Yeah, should have guessed.
あの
You don't know many people, so that doesn't really narrow it
本
down.
当にいいと思う？
I looked Shiroha over once more. Yeah, looks great. I mean, like, it suits you. You look, well, pretty. Speaking objectively. Yeah, your face has nice symmetry.
違う。
Huh?
そうじゃなくて
Maybe I should have called you cute?
違うってそうじゃなくて仮とはいえいいのかなって
Yeah, fuck it. Anything for the tax credits at the end of the year.
こんなことして
Oh, I get it. Apparently, she was still worried about the whole marriage thing. Honestly, I never really thought too deeply about it. Maybe it was because I wasn't an islander, or maybe because I didn't really know what was going to happen. But it was probably pretty different for Shiroha. She was still worried that she was forcing me into something really major. I know this might sound weird, but... Everything you say is weird, but don't worry about it. Don't you think we kind of suit each other?
それは私とハイリが
Uh-huh. Yeah.
それは
No, I mean like, because the outfits we match look-wise, right?
あ
So I figured we might as well just go with it, for at least now.
そうだね今だけはお似合いかもしれないね
Yep, 2 peas in a pod. Yeah. The Butterfly's Knot. The name made it sound pretty intense, but the actual ceremony was very simple. Shiroha and I entered the shrine under the supervision of a Shinto priest. Inside the shrine was a pair of double doors, and inside those double doors was another small household shrine. All we had to do was push open those doors together. Supposedly, they would only open if our feelings were in harmony with one another. All the feeling stuff was just an act in our case, of course. But still, I felt a jolt of nervousness when the moment arrived. With our arms linked together, we pushed open our respective doors. For some reason, my mind flashed back to the scene I'd witnessed just before I arrived on the island. A flock of birds crossing the sea, 2 of them lagging slightly behind the others. The door slowly opened. Shiroha's white, slender hand on one side, and my own rough, tan on the other. Faint scars still remained on my hand. Marks left from when I hurt strangers, myself, my parents, and many others. Don't worry about it, bud. You live for long enough and your hands just become covered in little tiny scars from all sorts of little things. Work, closing them in the door, pricking yourself with a knife when you're cooking, sewing. Like, you'll just get cut up all sorts of places for no reason. When the sun began to sink into the horizon and the sky was dyed a brilliant red, we left the shrine and began walking towards the ocean. Ooh, pretty. Shiroha danced silently beside me. The crowd gathered in the shrine grounds looked on in reverent silence. She has always been quiet, but in that moment, she had a certain unapproachable majesty to her. Really has to do with the big gold crown and fan. Her expression was calm and dignified, in spite of the crowd that was watching her. I could have never imagined her like this if I hadn't seen her myself. She was Shiroha, of course, but at the same time, she seemed like someone else entirely. I was beginning to understand what Ruichi and Kabato-san, Kobato-san said when they meant that she was special. Our procession of around 20 people slowly descended the steps towards the town below. Shiroha and I walked side by side in the very middle. Every so often, Shiroha would stop and perform her dance. We advanced slowly, performing that routine over and over as the town grew closer. The procession gradually inched towards the shore, as if keeping pace with the sun as it slowly sank into the west. Ruichi Tenzen and some of the islander men were behind us, carrying a portable shrine that looked like a small boat on their
こ
shoulders.
の船去年も背負わされたけど一層重くなってないか
The miniature shrine rested on top of the boats. It looked more like a palanquin than a boat, really. From what I understood, we're carrying it to the beach and setting it adrift into the ocean. I mentioned how wasteful that seemed, but the guy from the town hall chuckled and told me that they'd go out and retrieve the shrine after the ritual's over. Though apparently every once in a while, it'll end up lost at sea. When that happens, they take it as a sign that the boat served as a sacrifice to avert some sort of disaster, and perform an exorcism and have another boat made. The current boat looked pretty old, so I figured it'd been quite some time since they'd lost one.
願いの数だけ重みを増すんだろう。
そういう設定なのかこれ
Either that or the woods got wet and it's just being weighed down.
知らん。
Whoa. The sight took my breath away. Countless lanterns already floated atop the surface of the sea. Guided by those innumerable lights, we slowly proceeded towards the coast. We made it to the water's edge and set down the boat. Then the men pushed it out into the ocean. The boat slowly drifted away, rocked gently by the waves. And just like that, the ceremony ended without a hitch. Well, that was easy. Bit of an anticlimax, but hey, you know, I'll take it. We all heaved a sigh of relief.
よかったな。
呪いなんてなかったのよ。
Ah. Finally started to rain after everything was already over. Maybe it was a sign that the future Shiroha saw could have come to pass if things were different, if things went differently. But with just a bit of effort, we changed the future. All it took was a touch of caution to avoid the worst case scenario. That was my best guess anyway.
本格的に降る前に終わってよかったな
Yeah. The lantern slowly bobbed on the waves as the rain gradually intensified. The ocean was so calm just moments before it started growing stormy. A number of lanterns were swallowed by the waves. Well, I guess they might be in for a pretty tough journey. My mind wandered as I watched the lanterns get tossed about by the waves.
高原さんですね。
Yeah, that's me. A man I didn't recognize walked up to me. I got pretty used to people I didn't know randomly talking to me since I arrived on the island.
うちの子知りませんか。
Your daughter?
堀田と言います。
Ah, so you're Hoto-chan's father. Oh.
はい。ずっと探しているんですが見つからなくて。
Hey, guys, do you feel like that boat was, say, maybe about one child's worth of weight heavier than it was supposed to be?
あの子は一緒にお祭りに来る相手がいなくて、私の仕事があるから戻ってから行こうと言っていたんですが、高原のお兄ちゃんと一緒に行くから大丈夫って。
は？
それで浜辺に来ていたはずなんです。
堀田ちゃんか。知っているぞ。今日は見ていないな。
私も。
We asked around, but it didn't seem like anyone had seen
鉄
her.
塔から呼びかけてみるぞ。
Nobody used the island's PA system to call for her. Even then, there were absolutely no signs of Hoto-chan. Could she be lost? Or maybe asleep at home? She could be any number of places, really. I was starting to feel uneasy.
ハイリー、探してるのは女の子？
Yeah.
もしかして、
What's wrong?
この前気になることがあるって言ったでしょ？
Yeah, but there's always something eating at you.
私が見たイメージ、もう一人いるかもしれないって。
Oh, you're just telling us that now? Though, I guess that's something that only came to you as the vision got clearer and clearer.
多分女の子だった。
What?
私とハイリだけじゃなくて女の子が一人いた。
Oh, no way. There was another girl drowning with us. Considering that, one major possibility stood out in my mind. Oda-chan was on the boat.
どうしよう。
Shiroha seemed to have come to the same conclusion. How am I supposed to know? And all was said and done, all this was just based off a vague, indistinct vision. We had no idea whether Hoda-chan was actually on the boat or not. And could we even chase after it in the first place? It was already far out at sea. You're sure you saw her, right? Ah, then she must be out there. That means we have to go save her.
ハイリー、
Excuse me.
何？
That boat. I pointed into the open sea towards the shrine boat. At least it's not like beyond the horizon. There's a girl on there.
なんだと？あれに？人なんか乗れないぞ。
She's a kid. The shrine's big enough to fit a kid, right? She must have hid
どう
inside
して
it.
そんなことがわかるんだ？
Because...
見たのか？
No, I didn't see her, but... She went missing and we've looked everywhere for
だか
her.
らあそこに乗っていると。そんな理由で追いかけるわけには。
I mean, it seems pretty justifiable. Like, even if it's not, even if she's not there, it's better to find out by going to look than, finding out that she was, huh? Better safe than sorry, as they say. That dark, stormy ocean roared ferociously. Our story was totally baseless. No one would accept it without question. That said, there really was no trace of Hoda-chan anywhere. They couldn't disregard the possibility that she really might have been on that boat. The adults started arguing what to do. They couldn't just take our word at face value. They also couldn't just stand around and do nothing. Meanwhile, the boat drifted further and further into the open water.
ハイリー、
Ruichi?
こっちに来い。
There was a motorboat idling in the water behind the rocks. Where'd you...
親父のだけどな、あの船にいるんだな。
You guys should probably get some life jackets and maybe Shiroha take off the big heavy fucking kimono.
よし。じゃあ行こう。
どうして信じてくれるの？
仲間だからだ。
あ、
運転は任せろ。
あ
Okay.
とは俺と高原で。
If worst comes to worst, Tenzin can just jump in and save us. I hope
私
you
が
can
行
swim
く。
well.
何？
だって私のせいかもしれない。
You're so worried about all that?
思っちゃうよ。だけどそうだとしたら私が止める。私が助ける。
Shiroha. Understood. Also, again, take that off and put on a life jacket. Roichi, Shiroha, and I rode out into the sea. Oh, sorry, Tenzin, you get to stay at home.
おい、君たち！
Heard someone shouting at us, but I ignored it. I had a thought. If I'd asked Tenzin to go instead of me, then at the very least I could have guaranteed that Shiroha's vision wouldn't come to pass. What would be the point in trying to do something like that? Shiroha's grandpa was right. This isn't an issue that could be solved just by dodging the consequences. If fate was an ocean, then this was like a whirlpool on its surface. You couldn't steer around. You could steer around it, sure, but it wouldn't make the whirlpool go away. And in that case, it might be best to tackle the root cause of the whirlpool head-on instead. Our boat flew across the ocean. We drew closer and closer to the little shrine boat. The The waves were tossing it around violently, and it looked like it could be swallowed up at any moment. A massive whirlpool. Maybe that was the true form of our fate. All we could do was stand fast against it and try not to be swept away. We caught up to the boat. Roichi steered us closer and closer. Oda-chan! I shouted with all my might, but not too loud, otherwise I'd blow out my microphone. And a moment later, the little shrine door cracked open. Oda-chan!
ごめんなさい。私、
Yeah, you should be. This is dumb as fuck.
お母さんに会えると思って。
Ride the boat with the lanterns all the way there. What?
お母さんがどこかに行っちゃうなら、この船に乗れば同じところに行けるって。
Well, damn, at this rate you are. The lanterns in the boat were meant to guide the spirits of the dead back to where they belong. That explanation might have convinced Hoda-chan that riding the boat would let her meet her mother again, even though she passed away.
こっち、手を伸ばして。
Shiroha reached out as far as she could over the edge of the boat. She leaned out farther than I could believe. Roichi and I were stunned by her bravery. As the waves tossed and turned us about, they reached for each other. Shiroha somehow managed to grasp Hoda-chan's hand.
こっちへ。
At that moment, a massive wave plowed into us. Hoda-chan was thrown from the boat. Shiroha, still clutching her hand, was dragged overboard with her. Shiroha!
この子は。
Shiroha lifted Hoda-chan out of the water, and I dragged her into the boat. Keep her safe!
Ah!
I hurriedly passed Hoda-chan over to Roichi. Shiroha! I tried to grab onto her and pull her back into the boat as well. Just barely managed to catch on her kimono sleeve and pulled with all my might, except it probably weighs like 300 pounds with all that water soaking into it. Her kimono slipped off, and she was swallowed up by the waves. Tried reaching out for her again, but she had already disappeared from sight. Shiroha! I didn't hesitate for a second. The water didn't scare me at all. It had to be me. I was the only one who could save her. I dove into the ocean. Well, at least she's only wearing like a shirt. It's not going to be that heavy. There she was. If I dove just a second later, I would have missed her for sure. My body fell apart long ago, but strangely enough, in that moment, I felt whole. And it wasn't just my body. All of my memories, everything that happened to me, their scattered pieces felt like they were finally clicking into place. Fate was bringing them together. That's how it felt to me. Even if I failed during the most important tournament of my career, even if I betrayed the hopes and expectations of the people who trusted me, there would still come a time when all those experiences would prove vital to me. No time spent is ever wasted. Someday, you'll look back and realize that all those experiences were just part of a process that let you become someone else's strength. Shiroha! Even underwater, it felt like my voice reached her. The strength welled up in her eyes as she struggled through the water was all the proof I needed. They were wide open and focused on me. Her voice reached me as well. At that moment, something strange happened. The world went silent. The roaring of the waves faded away. And it was like time itself had ground to a halt. We floated there, facing each other, as if we were drifting through the night sky. I reached out. Our fingertips grazed, but we were too far apart to grab hold of each other. Almost there. We struggled clumsily against the water as I desperately grasped for her slender hand. As our arms waved about, they somehow reminded me of a pair of wings. Just a little further. Just a little more. Reach! 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 And finally, our hands joined together. I held on to her as firmly as possible. Felt like we were gently drifting through a still, silent world. I had no idea what was happening anymore. Shiroha was looking at me, deep underwater. Her strangely peaceful and serene gaze entranced me. And then she smiled. Shiroha? No, that's not quite right. Yeah, it's more like she's just passing out.
私は
Oh, okay.
私たちは時の網人違法の少年いくら求めても無理だよたとえこの夏に巡り会えてもそれだけのこと私たちはただ編み続ける
Well, that's spooky. Suddenly, the still silent space we floated within was filled with a thunderous roar. Shiroha and I were tossed and turned by the waves, swept through the sea by an irresistible current. In the pitch darkness of the ocean, I couldn't even tell up from down. All I could do was clutch Shiroha in my arms and try to stay calm. I knew I should swim towards the surface. I had to go up, but I didn't know which way up was. I could swim all I wanted, but if I had picked the wrong direction, it wouldn't amount to anything. But at that moment, a blue light passed in front of my eyes. What was that? For a moment, I thought it might have been one of those sea fireflies I saw on the beach with Shiroha. But it gave off a slightly different sort of light. Again. They were fluttering about, giving off a blue light. They drifted through the ocean with deliberate intent, like living beings. Like jellyfish or butterflies? The light grew stronger and stronger. Nearly a dozen of those blue lights were dancing above my head. I swam towards those butterflies, chasing them through the water.
こっち
I heard someone's voice. I reached towards it, towards that butterfly that swam through the sea. I had to catch it, no matter what. If I didn't, it'd fly away. Who will? To where? I didn't know, but I knew I had to catch that butterfly, then and there, no matter what. Or she'd fly away somewhere, to a place far beyond my reach. So, in that moment, I reached out. The butterfly flew on, fluttered along with the memories of that brilliant summer I once saw. I reached for it desperately, to capture those memories, to grasp the hand I would find within them. I have to reach. Something grabbed firmly onto my extended hands. And at that moment, my consciousness faded away. After that, we were safely recovered by a rescue boat that came chasing after us. Neither Hoda-chan nor anyone else was injured. The adults didn't seem to know whether to chew us out or apologize to us. In the end, the boat that Hoda-chan snuck onto was never seen again. Maybe it sank, or maybe it drifted out into the far reaches of the ocean. Well, looks like they'll need a new boat for the festival next year. Shiroha's grandfather gave me a brief apology. Maybe he'll be a bit more understanding from now on. Understanding? Oh, even I never really understood what happened. Even Shiroha herself. What were those visions she saw? Made me wonder. Reminded me of that inexplicable sense of nostalgia I felt the first time I arrived on the island. Could there be a sensation for those opposite cases too? Feeling like you've experienced a future that has yet to come to pass? If looking backwards brings about nostalgia, then what does it feel to look forwards? That might be something that only one girl, Naruse Shiroha, could ever know. Shiroha spent a solid half of the next day asleep. They couldn't find anything wrong with her when she finally woke up, though, and was discharged. I asked her about that moment when we were leaving the clinic. About how she acted sort of strange. Shiroha stared blankly at me and told me she didn't really remember. Yeah, I'd probably act strange too if I was drowning. Finally, the last day of summer vacation arrived, and I was scheduled to leave the island on the ferry just a bit past noon. I jammed clothes into my duffel bag. It'd been about a month. A whole month since I started staying in this room. I really did end up staying a lot longer than I'd originally planned.
ハイリ君準備できたんだ。
Yeah. Thank you for everything this past month.
いいえ、何もできなくてごめんね。
Well, I guess I never really helped you at all in the end.
何を？
Sorting through the shed.
ああ、そのために来たんだっけ？
It was, actually, yeah.
遊びに来たものと思ってた。
You're the one who sent me a letter asking if I could help, you know?
そうだけどね。もともと手伝いだけのために呼んだわけじゃない
Yeah, it
か
was just an
ら。
excuse to your parents. Huh? Then why?
覚えてない？昔会ったことがあるんだよ。
Long ago? I couldn't rule out the possibility, but I certainly didn't remember it. Oh, you always meet weird fucking relatives when you're super young, and then you bump into them 25 years later, and they're like, oh, this is your great aunt, Agatha. She was there when you were born, and that was the only time you ever met her. And then they start talking to you like they know you, and it's like, whoa, okay, lady. Whatever you say. I really couldn't remember it at all.
いいところだから島にいつかおいでって言ったらすごく目を輝かせてたから私としてはその約束を果たしたかったの。
Sorry, I don't remember that at all.
だよね。
But thank you.
いいえ。
Oh, speaking of which, feels like I haven't seen Umi-chan around recently.
先日の昼過ぎに帰ったよ。
What, give the Irish goodbye, just walked out the back door, didn't say anything?
お祭りの日。
What, seriously? She didn't even say goodbye.
そうなんだ。
Well, that kind of hurts. We lived together for a month and she left without so much as a word. I wonder if she hated me.
でもよくハイリ君の話をしてたよ。
Oh, she was talking behind my back about how much she hates me. About me? What'd she say?
それは秘密。
I spent my own version of summer vacation here on this island. I guess Uma-chan might have been living out her own separate version of summer vacation all the while. Yeah, like I said, she's doing her own separate key visual novel. Just like Little Busters. Okay, maybe that was sort of obvious. Anyway, it's about time for me to get going.
もう少し待てば役場前からバスが出るよ。
That's alright. Oh, wrong button. I feel like walking. A month ago, I walked up this very road, battered by the summer sun and the cries of the cicadas. Carrying a bag full of luggage, just like today. The weight on my shoulders hadn't changed. Back then, I was climbing up the hill towards my grandma's place. This time, I was walking towards the ocean. The sea glittering in the light, stretching all the way out into the horizon. It was still the same summer I arrived in. Oh, a lot can change in a month. I arrived at the harbor. There, I found.
本当に帰るとはな。
Sorry I didn't get to play more ping pong with you. The guide wouldn't let me. One of these routes I'll be sure to, though.
ずっとここにいたような気がするな。
There's got to be like a hidden ping pong tournament somewhere in there. The mechanic's too in depth otherwise. Whew, thank goodness that didn't pop up. I don't care, Grindsoft anti-malware, that an update is ready. Get off my screen.
島民としての素質があるのかもしれないな。
I mean, he's Japanese, you're all islanders.
いっそいついてしまえばいい。
やめなさいよ。こんな田舎なんてつまらないでしょ。
I could see him coming back once he graduates. By the way, I don't see no Miki around. She was usually at the center of their little
あの
group.
子こういうの苦手だから。
Yeah, she'd just cry. Not very good.
泣いちゃうのさ。
Hmm.
お子様だからな。
多分あそこで見てると思うわよ。
Little voyeur. Owl pointed at the tower. Oh, you're right. I could just barely make out a tiny silhouette watching us from the top of the tower. Hey! I waved at her.
高原入り
A voice echoed through the PA system.
帰ってもちゃんとしろ
I will! I gave her one more big wave.
師匠行っちゃうんですか？岡山に帰るの？
Not to Okayama, but yeah.
帰っちゃ嫌だ。
The island kids threw themselves at me. Oh! I was a little touched. Oh, that wasn't an oh like I got tackled. That was like an oh emotional hit.
バイバイ。
And then they ran off with surprising little fanfare. Huh. Maybe they weren't very good with goodbyes.
背中に何か貼られてるぞ。
It's probably fucking a kick me sign. Appraisal result? 130 yen. Hey, what's the big idea?
また一緒に遊ぼうね。
And off they ran. Sheesh.
お兄ちゃん、
Oh, Hoda-chan.
ご迷惑をおかけしました。
Yeah, thanks for saving my life, I guess. My dad said I should say sorry. Huh? Nah, it's fine. Really. I was glad everything turned out alright.
はい、帰るのですね。
Yeah.
お気をつけて。
Hoda-chan glanced around like she was looking for something.
お姉ちゃんは
Oh yeah, that one. One-chan? Oh, I bet she means Shiroha. Huh, not sure. Good question. She's always wandering around alone, so she's probably out there somewhere.
あのね。
Yeah?
あの時、お姉ちゃんに抱かれた時、お母さんの匂いがした。
Oh, that's so. Well, maybe your mom was somewhere nearby then. She might have been the one who saved us.
これ。
は？
あげる。お兄ちゃんのために灯籠作ったよ。
You know I'm not dead, right?
でも、ちゃんとお家帰れるように。
Yeah, don't fall off this boat.
次のお盆にはまた来るんでしょ？
Next year, huh? I don't really know about that.
おいおい。
No, sorry. But I'll definitely come back eventually.
約束。
Yeah, it's a promise. Now then. I spotted Shiroha a little ways off from the group. She was standing on the pier and watching the sky, just like she had been way back whenever. I slowly walked up to her. Shiroha noticed me and turned around. We stood there, awkwardly facing each other. Hey.
お疲れ様でした。
She gave me a cute little bow. Nah. We both did the best we could. So humble. We grinned at each other, a little embarrassed. We were definitely a lot friendlier with each other compared to when we first met. When we first met, oh, that's right. She called me Doskoi, didn't she? Doskoi. What a hefty phrase. That was kind of weird, actually. I know it's a bit late to question it, but why was she so upset back then anyway? I figured she was just shy or something. I got the feeling there was more to it, considering how she was acting. Am I overlooking something? I had a feeling that something else was absurd about the situation back then. I was just too surprised to register it at the time. Thinking back to it, it really was weird. I was on the brink of a crucial realization. What was Sephora supposed to leave the island? That's right. Shira was in the water trying to hide from me. In her swimsuit. Her swimsuit? No, that's not right. Shiroha was in her underwear. She snuck into the pool at nighttime and probably thought it'd be fine to change by the poolside since no one else was around. Of course, she hadn't expected me to show up out of nowhere. She was in her underwear at the time and frantically dove into the pool to hide. I actually heard a splash right after I walked in, looking back on it. Then I kept dragging the conversation on and on in spite of her state of undress, and she got pissed. Oh boy. I looked up into the sky.
どうしたの？
You're really hiding some things in there, huh? Nothing. Just... sorry.
Huh?
You know, about that night when we first met.
うん。
Like... underwear.
はあ
Her face flushed scarlet. I didn't even notice. And I kept trying to talk. It was totally tactless of me.
ずうずうしかった。
And that's why you got so mad. Sorry.
今頃思い出されても困る。
Yeah, it's been like a month. I guess, yeah. Not exactly the best topic to bring up when I'm saying goodbye. It's like poetic in a sense, ending things with how it started, you know. Full circle and all. I'd gone and made things all awkward between us.
ごめんね。
は？
私、結局危ない目に遭わせて。
Ah, but I'm still here, alive and kicking. Didn't even get hurt.
そうだけど。
I had a thought, see? Shiroha, you really do seem to have some sort of mysterious power. But I don't think it's a curse at all. Like, how do I explain this? I desperately searched for the right words. I wanted to express myself as clearly as possible. The future is usually totally dark. You can't see anything there, no matter how hard you try to look. But for you, it's like a single ray of light breaks through the darkness and lets you see. I sort of figured that might be how it works. I'm sure your power told us something really important. If you hadn't had your vision, Oda-chan might have never made it home. Your power might have saved her. And if that's true, then I'd say it's pretty incredible. Those were my honest feelings. There's no way I could know all about the island's customs or the burden Shiroha bore. But still, I felt that Shiroha, no, that we played an incredibly important role in everything that happened this summer.
あ、
What's wrong? Shiroha?
あ、
Yeah, you're kind of just spacing out.
なんでもない。なんでも。
She waved her arms in a fluster and stared at the ground.
ちらっと見えただけだから。
A glimpse of what? Was it another vision?
なんでもないし、全然不吉じゃなかったけど。
Well, when you say it like that, it just sounds even more ominous. She was turning kind of red. Ruichi, Tenzen, and Ao were inconspicuously watching over us from a distance. And it wasn't just them. I saw a bunch of people I recognized. The kids, Hoda-chan, the diner guy, the group of energetic old men. Even Kyoko-san showed up at some point. Seeing everyone together like that, I realized just how many people came together to see me off. I felt myself tearing up a bit. I was dazzled by the sun's brilliant light.
どうしたの？
It's just... I think I've remembered.
何を？
How to enjoy my summer vacation. Feels like I forgot ages ago. I totally lost my way back in the city. I asked myself over and over, how am I supposed to spend my summer vacation? I just couldn't remember. But now, strangely enough, it feels like I've remembered. When did I forget anyway? It was such a simple, easy answer. In short, I just loved summer itself. I had to come all the way here just to remember something that simple.
まもなく出港します。チケットをお持ちの方は乗船を済ませてください。
Oh, the ferry was about to leave. Okay then. Bye. I turned towards the ferry, then I stopped. I hesitated for a moment, but I decided I had to say it. I had to say the words that would sum up the summer I spent on this island. I had two thoughts to share. I wanted to make sure I properly expressed them before I left. I spun around, facing Shiroha once more. We didn't have much time together, but it was fun.
私も楽しかった。
Yeah. And also, I've fallen for you. I boarded the ferry at the last second before it cast off. It blew its horn moments after I got on board, almost like it was waiting for me, and slowly sailed away from the harbor. They probably were waiting for you. They could see you were getting ready and saying your goodbyes and be like, all right, let's let him do his thing. It's not like they let you do all that and then just sail off and be like, sorry, bud, you're 5 seconds late, catch the next one, and then you just gotta sit there for half the day with everyone awkwardly. And as I stood there, waving, the island slowly but surely drifted in the distance. Shiroha was still standing there, shocked. She hadn't moved an inch. But then, Shiroha suddenly threw herself against the railing, shouting into the wind. The boat was drifting further and further away, and its engine was drowning out her voice. I leaned over the railing and shouted too. What?!
私もあなたを好きになりました。
One day, for sure, I'll come back to this island. Don't forget that. I've read Umineko and bad things happen if you forget to go back to the island. Oh dear. Well, that's one day soon. Wait, what?
なんで戻ってくるの？
Yep, now we get to awkwardly stand here. So, I'm back.
おかえり。
So, like, you want to make out or something? Woo! We did it! First route done! Look at that, perfectly timed. Right before an hour and a half. I got this shit down. Oh, it's more like the game is paced properly in its chunks. Man, that was good. Nice sip of coffee, that is. Ah, that was alright, the game. You know. No, that's a lie. I liked it. Man, I missed key routes. They got such a rhythm to them, you know? Good introduction, too. There's definitely some bigger stuff going on here. So I'm looking forward to see how the story, you know, expands out. You know, what twists and turns we encounter. Mysteries revealed. I'm sure those butterflies in a mysterious grass field with a ominous tree in the center that we didn't get revealed until the 11th hour has no further deep meaning to it. Shiroha was nice. Good heroine. You know, I got nothing negative to say about her or her route. Perfectly, you know, solid 8 out of 10. What could make it a 9? I don't know. Just, it was very exactly what it was on the tin, you know? Nothing crazy, no giant twists and turns, except for at the very end, but that was kind of expected based off of how the story was going and the information revealed to us. But it did exactly what it said it would, and it did it well. So that's what I gotta say about that. You know, solid character, good chemistry. She's cute. That's always a plus. You know, for my I wouldn't really call this a moe gay. You know, it's got some more meat on the bones there. Which one's the ones that make you cry? Nakuge? Or is that the ones where it makes you, or the points to jerk off? There's all the different subgenres of visual novel. Nakuge. Sorry, I'm googling. I gotta go. No, oh, I spelled it wrong. Oh, Nakige. Sorry, not Naku. Got my syllable wrong. Yeah. According to VNDB, a Nakuge. Not Nakige. I'm gonna keep fucking that up. Such a game to make the player feel for the characters and make them cry. I wouldn't really say this one made me cry. Like, I'll be honest, I was getting a little emotional during the whole underwater scene and stuff. Not like I was gonna burst out into tears, but I feel like it came through in my narration, though, where I was kind of... It really got me into the scene, you know? And as I'll be honest, as a, like, you know, quote-unquote capital C content creator, when it comes to recording these videos, sometimes it's hard to really get into it like that, you know, really into the flow, because it's not just me in the game, it's me, I gotta talk, and then I gotta extrapolate on things I say and provide, a product here, if I'm being really blunt, of me being entertaining, which anyone can just read off what's on the screen, but it's the whole thing with, like, you know, YouTube personalities, it's kind of gross to call myself that, but, you know, it's kind of true, is they're the person that people come to see, and it's like the channels where they're like, you can just watch the playthrough with no commentary. It's like, if you wanted the story, you can just go do that, if you don't want to pay for the game. But I hope you guys are here for me and you don't just find me annoying and I detract from things. If you are, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and comment below that I suck. You know, anything for engagement bait. But where's I going with this? Yeah, in the act of providing that extra layer of, you know, commentary and me on top of everything, it's an extra layer that needs to get penetrated through in order to, you know, be fully immersed in the game. And some people really get butthurt when you don't do that. But I feel like that this game's doing a good job of letting me do that. So I'll continue. I'll continue with the epilogue here. A week had passed since I returned from Torishirojima. Summer vacation was over, and at long last, I returned to school. One morning, a letter arrived for me. It was from the Torishirojima Youth Association. Inside was a simple letter and a photo. The letter said this: "Come back anytime you want." Buddy, you're facing the wrong way. Camera's over here. I could go back anytime. Back to that place. Back to that summer. Yeah, you can go on the weekend if you want. You're like an hour train ride away and then just a ferry ride. Go early in the morning. You'll be there by like noon. You know, just hang out for a day trip. Two birds flew past, high above my head. I knew they must be headed somewhere far, far away, stopping from time to time to rest their wings, then carrying on with their journey once more. Woo! Medal achieved! Shiroha route done! Did we get anything on the title screen? Oh, don't look at that! This is totally an official product that I got from my uncle at Key. Oh, Shiroha's gone. Okay, so as we go through the heroines, they'll disappear from the title, and then once they're all gone, I assume we'll unlock some true route in key fashion, you know, a refrain, an after story, so on and so forth, to tie everything all together in a neat little bow. But that'll be much later in the future. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, or ring the notification bell. And I will see you guys next time for the next route that we're doing, which is, totally don't have to look up on my phone right now. I had the screen open on my computer before it crashed and I had to reset yesterday. Oh, we're doing Alva's route next. How fun. How fun. Maybe I'll get better at pronouncing her name. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Strings of vowels into each other with no consonants, hard to pronounce. It's very all, well, of course you say all words with your mouth, but you know what I mean. It's all very back, side, middle of your mouth. There's no tongue movement in the front. It's all just in there, like you're having a ping pong ball in your mouth. You know, Tenzin just shoved one in there, you know, getting it nice and lubricated for a spin. It just, ow. But we'll get plenty of practice in, I'm sure, next time. All right, catch you guys then. Bye-bye now. Mwah.